Hey peoples, Devon Bell here, and today I wanted to step outside of my comfort zone and sort of vlog about crystals. You know, what they are, their meanings, and just sort of break down some of the barriers and disbeliefs that a lot of people have, especially those who are actually interested in this as a lifestyle. I wanted to help get you pointed in the right direction. And, you know, as someone who has been, I've been in the metaphysical field now for 11 years, but crystals have been very recent to me. I used to look more into frequencies, then I got more into herbs. And so a couple years ago, I just happened to stumble upon crystals. And since then, I've sort of made that my, you know, life. It's become a lifestyle for me. I actually am the co-founder of Aura Crystals, where I make bracelets, I make necklaces, just all types of jewelry, guys. Armbands, pieces. I do stuff for earrings, stuff to wear around your head. I just try to adorn and myself in crystals as much as possible, and try to incorporate them in my life. I used to walk around carrying like 3 or 4 bags of crystals in my pockets. So my pants would be sagging, I'd have to try to keep my belt up. Um, because like once you get started on this path and you're, psychically or metaphysically or energetically inclined and aware, you're going to want to try to surround yourself with as much as possible. Crystals are a resource, guys. They're a valuable resource. That's why they're semi-precious stones, is because they have value. And, that value can come from just designs, just like how they look. So I design stuff based on their looks, because that is a form of awareness, but also design a lot of stuff for functionality, mainly for myself. Sometimes I don't care about how it looks. It just has the stones that I know I need to, be productive and happy in life. So, like I said, crystals are a resource, and what they do, they amplify energy. So we look at that. That could be a good thing or a bad thing when something's amplified. When you get drunk, your true personality comes out, right? Who you are buried underneath that person comes out. So you could be an angry drunk, right? You could be a romantic drunk. You could be a funny drunk. There's many different types. But that sort of amplifies your personality, and crystals will do the same. So luckily though, is that crystals are a pure form of energy, meaning that there's really not a lot of crystals out there, at least that I've come across, that are going to have a negative effect. The only exception to that being is clear quartz, and that's because, or malachite, right? Now, these forms of energy, they're very powerful amplifiers, but they tend to absorb energy. So if you're just a negative person and, you just surrounded by negativity, crystals like those are going to hold on to that energy. And if you're not clearing them or cleansing them enough, it's going to amplify that bad. So, but they have the healing sides too. So if you do take care of them and you do charge them and cleanse them, which we'll talk about later, the benefits and the results are going to be astounding. So, like I said, crystals amplify energy, and a lot of other stuff does too. Whether it's oil, hand blended oil that you can put on your body, you can burn it. Candles, herbs that you pre-select for their purpose. That was hand blended. You can have grounded herbs, fresh or better, or crystals. Now, these aren't the only ones out there. Earlier, you heard me talk about, you know, um, frequencies, audio, whether they're isotones or binaural beats. We'll get into that another time. But for right now, I just wanted you to know there's lots of resources out there that do the same thing. However, crystals are just amazing at what they do. There's crystals out there that shield negativity, whether it's events that are happening, people, sort of shields you from that. There's some that if anybody's wishing you bad, it will act as a mirror and sort of reflect that energy back to its sender. And then there's stuff out there for prosperity, abundance, fortune, success. I mean, the list goes on. Physical conditions, emotional conditions, spiritual conditions. Like once you really start to research crystals and you start to find out, their benefits, is really hard to stop. You almost become addicted to it. Luckily, it's a good addiction, right? I'd rather be addicted to crystals than addicted to the worst stuff out there, drugs. But, crystals and plants, they have physical healing benefits. A lot of us, I know for me, I take a lot of herbs because there's enough bad stuff, pollution and, radiation in our environment. As soon as you step outside, you know, and I try to offset that as much as possible. This world, this universe isn't designed for everything to just be easy for everyone. There's going to be challenges. And so I know my purpose in life is to offset that so I can grow, learn as much as possible. And crystals are a way for us to do that. Now, one way I like to describe crystals is, now this is using a comic, a superhero, right? But a lot of fantasy and sci-fi out there is actually based on fact. And they just sort of made it more marketable, for a particular audience. But Superman, right? Kal-El, Superman, who comes from Krypton, who, he becomes very powerful when he gets closer to the sun. The closer to the sun he gets, the more powerful he gets. Which is crazy because I tell people a lot of time that the sun is not necessarily a crystal, but it is very similar in form and abilities. It gives life to everything that we know in the universe. It lets us grow, and fortunately, some of us don't get enough of it. Another, rock, which is a type of crystal, the moon, right? It's scientifically proven that the moon, when it is out, it causes high tides. That's the waves of the ocean. They become, more vibrant, more alive when the moon is out because the gravity of the moon sort of pulls that water. Now, the earth is made up of 70% water, and us as humans, we're also made up of 70% water. That's why the moon is out. When the moon is out, or during a full moon or new moon, any type of lunar calendar event, emotions and everything is just higher because everything is more amplified. So, having crystals in your life and doing certain things during those times are going to set off a chain of events that are going to sort of benefit your life more and more, as long as you have a pure and positive intent. Now, going back to Superman, we don't have a kryptonite, guys. I know that, but we do have malachite, moldavite, phenacite. There's a lot of ites out there, which is sort of how kryptonite got its name, And kryptonite, unfortunately for Superman, carries such a low vibration that it makes him weak. So fortunately, we don't have crystals in this, reality, this dimension that we're aware of as mankind that does that. But everything is of a positive vibration in its natural state. So it's not until us humans, we go and we mine and dig them up that we sort of disrupt their natural state. They get farther away from the Earth's core, so they don't amplify or radiate as much, but it's still powerful enough for us to get the benefits. So, like I said, Superman becomes stronger because of the sun, whereas, something like kryptonite allows him to become weaker. Now, like I said, there's some truth in that, and fortunately, it's actually the reciprocation of that, right? The more crystals we have and we take care of them, cleanse them, charge them. This is blue kyanite. This is actually one of my favorite stones, and coincidentally, it's actually also one of my birthstones as well. So it radiates very powerfully with me, and this was on the list of one of the first crystals that I had chosen. And when you walk into a crystal shop, or even if you go online and you see a beautiful crystal, whether it's because you're drawn to how it looks, or you're just drawn to how it feels, or you just happen to stumble upon it, and from what I've seen, the people that I've taken to shops, at least 7 out of 10 are going to naturally pick one of their birthstones. Now, these aren't the man-made birthstones, where like mine is diamond and you got aquamarine and all those other ones. No, these are stones that radiate more powerfully with you